If you're joining me for the first time, my name is Dayo Samuel, and my goal is to help you overcome the fears, phobias, and anxieties that you have so that you can go do the things that matter to you personally and professionally. This particular broadcast, what I want to do with this broadcast is to share with you how to fix your financial fears. Now, as I said in the description that went with this video, I have personally battled fears in my life. And when I say battled fears, I've battled several fears. One of those fears is actually the fear of money, and there are different fears that we have. Now, I want you to first of all understand right here that emotions drive many of our choices, including the choices surrounding the money we spend, the money we make, the money we keep, and the money that we invest. So if you check your life right now, you find certain emotions that you've associated with money over time. Emotions like shame, emotions like guilt, emotions like fear, emotions like freedom, emotions like power, abundance, joy, happiness. Now, I want you to answer this question right now, and I want you to answer that in the comment below. Money means dash to me. And I want you to insert whatever it is you feel money means to you. I want you to fill it in that blank space. So, money means what to you? That is, what does money mean to you? To some people, it means joy, it means abundance, it means happiness, it means power, it means freedom, it means guilt, it means shame. We all have different meanings of money. Now, anytime I teach on money, especially when it has to do with how we behave towards money, I always explain that money has two facets. There is the overlying story, and there is the underlying story. There is actually the story we tell ourselves about money, and there is the underlying story that we tell ourselves about money. And what do I mean by that? What I want you to understand here is that beyond the money that we spend, underlying that is a story that we usually tell ourselves. And such stories sometimes come out of fear. Sometimes they come out of the plenty issues that we've had in our lives. Now, if I ask you that you are to put in an answer at the end of this, that is, you are to complete this statement: I'm not financially free because dash. And I want you to put whatever answer you feel is the reason why you may not be financially free. So, I'm not financially free because dash. I want you to insert something. If you can't post it directly on Facebook here, you can send it to me actually. If you can't post it in the comments of this video, you can actually send it to me. Now, I would love to have more money, but dash. And I want you to write down everything that comes to your mind. Now, what I want you to understand here, what's behind your financial fears? Now, you may have seen or heard me say that one roadblock that stops many people from getting wealthy and from getting rich is fear. A lot of people don't ever become rich because they actually fear. They are fearful, rather. So the fear of failure prevents us from working on our financial goals. The fear of rejection keeps us from asking or going after opportunities. The fear of the fact that if we go after it and we fail, it makes us not want to ask for opportunities, or not even want to make us go after opportunities that matter to us. The fear of success that we may actually blow, like they say around here, prevents us from maxing out our full potential. Now, I don't know which area that you may find yourself, but I want to tell a story right here. And this story is actually a story that's personal to me. Every single time I've had the opportunity of sharing this story, a lot of people have been able to connect with it. So many years ago, I couldn't charge someone, that is, if I have a client, I have a customer that I have to work with, I can't charge them in the hundreds of dollars. And when I say in the hundreds of dollars, I'm referring to from 100,000 upwards. I couldn't charge them that. So in fact, the first time I tried to charge somebody, all of the prospects that I was actually pitching at that point, all of them backed off. And so that made me to reduce my prices. It made me to drop all of my prices because I wanted people to actually come in, to actually hire me, to actually work with me. One day, I realized the reason why I was dilly-dallying like that was basically fear. Nothing other than fear. So, I also realized it wasn't this to determine my prices. It has to come from a place of confidence in the fact that I can actually solve the problem that I say I want to solve. So, a lot of people know me with podcasts, right? Before I actually moved into podcasts, there were several things I was doing And when I moved into podcasts, people started asking questions, and it became, in fact, as at the time I started teaching people, training people, helping people start podcasts, it was a lot challenging for me to even charge people to do that. So when for the first time I locked down a 150k client, that is a client that decided to pay me 150k, come and see me, man, I was very, very happy. I was very excited. And then that was the first time in my life that I was actually getting somebody to pay me above 100,000 naira. And that was the first time ever. Now, in the fear resolve process, which is the event that's actually powering all of this live broadcast, there's a process that we take people through that is called the daily diary method. Now, the daily diary method actually is a way that people keep a non-judgmental tracking of their thoughts, their worries, their anxieties, their behaviors about anything, money inclusive. Now, if you actually join me for the fear resolve process, which you can see on your screen right now, the fear resolve process, how to turn your fear into fuel for success. If you actually join me, I'm going to personally walk you through how to actually do that. Now, the fear resolve comes up March 17th and 18th here in Lagos, Nigeria. And if you're interested, you can actually click the link that is attached to this video. That will take you to where you can actually read more about the fear resolve process. So let me jump back and continue what I was actually explaining, right? So what I realized was I was actually subconsciously afraid of moving forward financially. I mean, I had the goal of making a lot of money, but I didn't have the internal permission. I didn't actually permit myself internally to actually accept to make the amount of money I wanted to make. And so because I was fearful of the fact that will people actually pay me? Will people be able to actually say yes to this offer? That began to jeopardize and sabotage how much I could make. It began to make me subconsciously afraid of actually achieving my financial goals. And one thing I wanted to note is that because fear is powerful, it commands our attention. I mean, fear is very, very powerful, such that it commands our attention. And so we get to choose fear above all other emotions almost every time. Now, let's take fear of not having enough money as an example. Now, this fear of not having money could actually arise maybe after losing a job, after an illness or death in the family, after a bad investment option that you have made, after a purchase that you actually made, and then you began to feel like, I've wasted money. Or maybe you are married to a job you hate, but if you leave, you are afraid that you might not have enough. Now, all of these come together, and there are many more, but these are just the few that I can actually talk about in this video right now. So it could be that maybe your own financial fear is caused by the fact that you have just lost a job. It could be caused by the fact that there was somebody who was ill or somebody who died in the family and you had expended a lot of money on that. It could also come because of a bad investment choice that you've made before. It could also come after a purchase that you feel this is too exorbitant, this is actually extravagance, even though you may actually need what you bought. Or maybe you are married to a job that you don't completely like, and so you are afraid of the fact that if you leave this job, how are you going to cater for your basic needs? How are you going to take care of the people that you're actually taking care of? Now, the thought of not having enough is usually used to mask the fear of being defined by your bank account. I mean, the reason why a lot of people feel that they have financial fears is because they are allowing that fear to define, they are allowing their bank account to actually define who they are. Now, it's not actually it's a fear that you lack resourcefulness to find solutions, a fear of not knowing how to deal with stress that comes out of a financial challenge, a fear that your world will fall apart. Now, all of these fears are powered by some beliefs, some mindsets that are forming the patterns of fear in your life. And as I usually teach, every fear that we have stems out of something. We are only born with two fears. All other fears that we have are basically learned. And in one of the subsequent videos I'm going to be doing after now, I'm going to be explaining how we learned all of the fears, how we formed the fears that we usually have. Now, so if you're sincere with yourself to answer the questions I've asked you above, that you should answer the question, what does money mean to you? You are not financially free, because those two questions, if you can actually answer them, they will uncover a lot of things that you may not know about yourself. Now, I know that will actually help you to identify the reason why you are fearful. But if I'm going to teach you one single thing you can do right now, I will teach you to actually forgive. And when I say forgive, majority of the time, the fear we have surrounding money stem out of issues that we have. Either we have with our parents, we have with our friends, we have with our colleagues, we have with our business partners, or it may even be issues that we have with ourselves. So consider this particular scenario. A man had grown up seeing his dad and his mom discussing money. That is, they don't discuss money in their front, but anytime money issues are raised, what gets to happen is that the father will sit down and listen to the entire conversation, and afterwards he will say, okay, we will find something to do about it. And that's all. And then the child, that guy, will have to ask and ask and ask and ask. And then somehow, the money will show up. And then the guy will be able to do the thing he needed to do with that money. But he never for once understood how the money came out from his parents. For once, he never understood that. And so that created a pattern of secrecy when it comes to money for him, such that anytime he needs to talk about money, he feels very secretive. In fact, when he got married, he couldn't share his bank balance with his wife. Before he even got married, the girlfriend that he had couldn't understand how much the guy was making, couldn't understand how money was coming in for the guy. So this began to create a lot of financial fears in this guy's life. But if you check yourself right now, you'll see that you've had issues with people before. So if I'm going to teach you one single thing that can actually help you overcome your money fears right now, it would be that you should forgive. Forgive yourself. Of course, you've made several financial decisions in the past that have not helped you. You can't kill yourself over it, right? You can actually die because you made one single mistake. Perhaps maybe you had invested in MMM and your money went with that scheme. Perhaps you had invested in some other businesses and they didn't yield any profit for you. You need to forgive yourself for that decision that you have made. Maybe you need to forgive your family. Maybe your dad deceived you with certain advice in the past. Maybe your mom gave you certain advice in the past that it did actually help you financially. You need to forgive your family. Maybe it's even your child that actually messed up with the money that was meant for the family. Now, all of this, you need to actually forgive yourself. Next is you need to forgive your friends. Your friends may have battered and shattered your goals when it comes to money, and you felt very terrible in the past. You need to forgive yourself. And typically, when our friends hurt us, it's easy for us to move on. But when our family actually hurt us, it is not as easy to move on. So next is I need you to forgive your colleagues. You need to forgive your colleagues. They may have been the reason why you were sacked at your workplace. Man, you can't kill them. You can't actually kill them. You need to actually forgive them right here and now. So, and lastly, you need to forgive money. Maybe money has not been friendly to you. Maybe you've only had the money at a particular time of your life and you've not had money all of your life. You actually need to forgive money, because what you are doing in the process of forgiveness is to actually let go, is to release all negative emotions that you've had attached to money. In one of my brain retraining programs, one of the things I do at the beginning is I say, What you're about to listen to, the stories, affirmations, and brain retraining program that you're about to listen to has been carefully created so that you can release all tensions, release all anxieties, release all worries about money. And that's the same thing I'm trying to help you do right now. If you choose to actually forgive, what you are doing is to let go, is to release all the negative emotions that you have attached to money. And so, if you check your life right now, in what ways do you need to forgive others? Now, forgiving others may not actually solve your financial fears, okay? I need to be clear about that. But what it will help you to do will become joyful and appreciative of how much progress you've made in your financial journey. You may say that you're in a mess, but I want to ask you, who was responsible for that mess? Who are you going to continue to blame for that mess that has been created? And how long do you want to suffer for what they did? Now, this is what I came here to share with you today. That if you can actually handle your financial fears, the fears you have around the money, as in my own case, I actually battled that financial fear. It was one day that I actually decided it is time for me to actually end this palaver, this wahala with money. And so deciding to end it, it actually ended. And that was when I was able to actually charge somebody for the first time ever in my life over 100,000 naira. So I don't know about you. In what areas of your life have you been struggling financially, and how has fear created those issues for you? As I usually say, the limitations in your mind is the limitation in your life. If you don't handle the money problems that you have, you will discover that you take that money worries, you transfer it into other areas of your life. And as I have been saying on this series of broadcasts, awareness is power. When you become aware, you are better equipped to handle whatever issue that you find yourself going through. So once again, let me talk about the Fear Resolve process. Now, the Fear Resolve process is a 2 days in-person physical class taking place here in Lagos, Nigeria on the 17th and 18th of March 2018. That is 17th and 18th of next month here in Lagos. And it's just 20,000 naira for you to be a part of it for the 2 days. Your 20,000 naira covers all of the exercises that we'll do, all of the take-home place that we'll do, all of the refreshment that you will enjoy. It includes your certificates as well, and it includes a lot of other bonuses. What I want you to do right now is to actually visit audacity2lead.com/fear resolve process, and it's going to take you straight to where you can read more about the program. Now, if you check the link attached to this video, you will find that I have actually attached the link to this video so that you can actually click it and go there right away. Now, if you come for Fear Resolve, I'm going to help you personally walk through your financial history, and we are not going to use a bank account. Actually, we are not going to do anything with your bank account, but we are going to go into your financial history, where you are going to be able to see how a certain pattern has played out in your finances over time, particularly in the stories and the narratives that you have attached to money. For example, at the beginning I mentioned that some people have shame attached to money, some people have fear attached to money, some people have anxieties, worries, negativity. Some people actually see money as a tool for freedom, tool for success and whatever. But the majority of the time, a lot of people actually have negative connotations when it comes to money. So what we are going to be doing at the Fear Resolve process is a section of the Fear Resolve process actually dedicated to walking you through how to actually resolve your financial fears. So that's what I want to invite you to from this moment. So I want to say thank you for joining me. I want to appreciate every single person who joined this live broadcast. Thank you for joining me. Now I'm going to stop the recording here and then give credit to every single person who is here. So once again, my name is Dayo Samuel, and my goal is to help you overcome the financial fears that you have, the financial worries, the financial panic, the way finances have actually been causing you low self-esteem. Maybe you are not proud to actually show yourself amongst people because you are feeling like, I don't have enough money. The Fear Resolve is going to help you turn all of that into fuel for success in your life, personally and professionally. So I would love to see you, and I'm looking forward to having you at the Fear Resolve process coming up March 17th and 18th of next month, right in the heart of Lagos, Nigeria. Once again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope to have you on the next broadcast.